happening? Peter's not throwing? Peter doesn't throw? Oh, okay. Oh, so I don't even throw? Yep, you don't even throw. Okay. What's that? Do you have a game plan, Stu? Did you have a game plan you were thinking of for working the ice? Or?
Yeah, we're just throwing all across the Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure I like it. I'd rather just be throwing a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. I take coach's advice. There's a lot of coaches on this team. Your match, Kev? Good enough?
It's curling a lot, Mary.
A little faster than earlier?
Yeah, they're on the 12-foot edge for their curl.
Yeah, I like that one.
I feel good. I don't need to throw time. Actually, I'd like to throw the draw right now.
20. I'm just going to lightly clean it and see where it goes. That one's good, right?
Yeah, it's just me. I'm feeling pretty good about having draw weight, so feel free to throw one in yourself if you want.
So only the skips have got
Yeah, top 12 with no sweeping at all.
Andy Furby coming to you live from the Mariner Centre in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia for the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Club Senior Championship. I'm joined today with Al Hackner, who's to my right here, and we got the opening draw here starting shortly between Nunavut and Nova Scotia. So Al is playing in this tournament here this week, and I'd like to get his insight how he prepares for these games coming into it. This is his 19th Canadian Championship, and obviously he's a very experienced curler with a lot of knowledge, and just like to see how he prepares or how he thinks people should prepare for this event.
Well, I try not to overtrain. I says, you know, we obviously got to throw rocks and stay sharp, but there's a point of doing it too much. So we try to space out our training and then come in here hopefully well rested and ready to play.
Yeah, it's a long week for the curlers here. It's set up in two pools. Obviously, you play a 6-game round robin. There's 7 teams in each pool, and the top 4 teams from each pool get out in a crossover game. So you can't afford to lose too many games early in this, or else you're going to be out. Correct?
Like 4 and 2 should get you in. Although I was just at the Canadian Masters where a team was 4 and 2 and they didn't make the championship pool because the team they were tied with had beat them. So winning. Who beats you and when you lose to it is also pretty important on those things, and this last shot draw can also do some tie breaking too. So it's the goal here for every curler every team that wants to go on is to finish the top 4 in your pool and you move on to the championship pool.
And even then, sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, but if the winner of the pool's got 0 losses and someone in your pool's got 3 losses, it's very difficult to win this after the fact also, right?
Well, you're going to have to almost sweep the other side. You almost have to win the other 4 games against the top teams from the other pool. So with 3 losses is tough to do. So each one of these games in the round robin is very important. So obviously, 5 and 1 is nice. Obviously, undefeated is even better. But 4 and 2 is still a little hill to climb.
It's kind of the magic number. It just depends how competitive everybody is and how well they're doing also. But in this format, you tend to look at the leaderboard a little bit, whereas in a bonspiel, not necessarily, because it always comes down to the final weekend or the one game here. But you can't let somebody get too far ahead of you.
No, like in spiels with the knockouts, you don't really worry about how many losses you have. You just don't lose your last one.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, it's similar to this. Well, actually, you can lose your last one and still not make it here, or make it. But the players are just playing for last rock here. They're drawing the button. There's 2 turns. They throw an in turn and an out turn, and it's a total number for last, or the closest amount for last rock. But there's more to it than that. And Al, you were saying earlier that draw to the button means a lot more than just what's happening for this game.
Well, there's a running total you accumulate through all your games. So you could be a 3-way tie for 2 spots. And if everybody beat everybody, you can't break the tie that way. So then you go down to the last shot draw totals. And if you're last out of the 3, you could be eliminated strictly on that.
Yeah, it's kind of, I know that some of the players don't like that format, but I get it. With the advent of 14 teams in there, we got to eliminate teams. We can't have tiebreakers because there really is no time to do that at the end of the week, because everything is together here and it's pretty tight scheduling. So again, these draw to the buttons are very important throughout the week.
And there is a skill to it too. And I know when I was coaching different teams from United States and the team from Scotland, we would spend quite a bit of time on our practice, running our 9-minute practice drill. We would do it over and over and over and over until we got that 9 minutes down to everybody knew their position, everybody knew the goals the team was trying to accomplish, and because we know that it's very important, a big part of the game these days.
So the game we're bringing to you live will be Peter McCabe from Nunavut. He's actually played in 4 Canadian Senior Championships, so he's been at every single Everest Championship in the last 4 years, and he's back again representing them against Glenn McLeod. And I thought this Glenn McLeod this is his first national championship or a senior championship. So I was talking to the boys before the game, and they're pretty excited and pretty pumped about this. And they open up against a team that's been here before, so it'll be interesting the type of game that they actually play here. Do they play cautious, or do they go after these guys, or vice versa? So we'll see in a few minutes.
provinces and territories across Canada, vying for an opportunity to represent Canada at the World Seniors in Korea next
introducing
year.
the teams right
These
now,
are the
and
teams you're going to be seeing
all the
here.
teams
So
on
without
the ice.
further
We've got
ado,
5 sheets
it
of
is my
curling
great
going on,
honor to introduce you to
some
the
men's
teams
games and some
participating on sheets A through E. Here we go. On sheet A, throwing red stones, let's hear it for Team Nunavut. Throwing yellow stones, Team Northern Ontario. On sheet B, throwing the red stones, let's hear it for Team Prince Edward Island. Throwing yellow stones, Team New Brunswick. On sheet C, this is actually the televised game. We have Randy Furby and we have the Iceman up there. Going to be doing commentary on this one. No pressure on you guys on C. Let's introduce them to you. Throwing red stones, let's hear for Team Nunavut. Throwing yellow stones, Team Nova Scotia. Over on sheet D, throwing the red stones, let's hear for Team Northwest Territories. Throwing yellow stones, Team Newfoundland Labrador. And last but not least, way over on sheet E, throwing the red stones, let's hear it for Team Quebec. Throwing yellow stones, Team Ontario. All right, curlers, just a few minutes. This ice, it will be yours. Good luck, good curling. Let the games begin.
Okay, we're back live, and it looks like Nova Scotia has been awarded last rock, so Nunavut will be throwing first rock. They'll be throwing the red rocks. As I said earlier, there's 5 games going on at the same time here, some women's matches and some men's matches, and we'll try to keep you updated as best we can along the way.
Finally, there's a lot of run up to these things. And you finally get to throw a rock that's
See, you were saying, Randy, that the skips are wearing the mics, so that's who we'll be hearing the on-ice comments from.
The players or the sweepers will not be wearing a mic today. Skip's getting to know each other quite well there, but I'm sure in a few minutes it'll be all business.
I had a chance to throw rocks out here earlier, and this ice is really curling. You got to take edge of the 12-foot, and from the hog line in, it breaks hard, curls hard.
You know, I think over the years we've gotten not away. I mean, this is my opinion, and you know, I think a lot of curlers or a lot of ice makers think the more curl there is, the better the ice is, and I'm not 100% sure on that one. Like this rock, as you've seen it, I mean, he was a little bit wide. He almost hit the boards halfway down, and now he almost made it to the center line. Well, within reason. And it's crazy how much curlers getting, but the curlers love it. The speed is fantastic, and it kind of opens it up for exciting curling. Probably more misses than you would expect, but we'll see how the teams adjust to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of curl out here. Personally, I'm with you. I think right now that's too much curls. You know, they've done some work with the rocks to make them curl that much, but I think as they get used through the week, you might see them straighten up a little bit, but. Right now, it's almost too much curl. We were talking how putting a guard up is going to be really tough because from the hog line in, it's just going so sideways. So how do you position that guard in the right place when it's going sideways on you?
This is lead Jamie Gauthier throwing his second rock here. Trying to come tight to the house.
Straight up, guys, hard, yep, hard, go. Okay, whoa, it's just gonna keep curling. Look at the fall.
Yeah, we see a lot of curl out there.
Okay.
So there's definitely got to be positive on the broom here, and what that means is getting it back a little bit or throwing it a little more positive. Like if you're a little tight here, you've got no chance. You may as well watch it go the rest of the way.
Yeah, even when we were throwing in our practice, I was saying we almost got to give it one more rotation or almost 2 more rotations just to hold that line a little better.
Yeah.
Line's good.
Yeah, get out to the broom with a little set and add a extra rotation. Otherwise, these rocks are just going to walk on you.
He's coming in pretty good. Yeah, there's no reason to be close to a guard here. I mean, actually, if you're too close to a guard, it's going to come up totally on the other side. You can miss the guard by 6-7 inches and still make a great shot, just like Peter just did. So Greg Howard's throwing now. This gentleman's been in quite a few of these championships also. I think he said he's been in 12 Canadian championships. Not all seniors. I think he's played in the Brier a couple times, the seniors, the mixed. So he's been getting around a little bit. You know, you even look at that rock there. He came by that rock on the top 8 foot by 2 feet, and it's half buried around the back. It's crazy how much this ice is curling.
Crazy finish. Be interesting to see too, because we didn't throw too many quiet ones. How much of a buried rock can you get at with, say, hack weight? Will it still hook like that?
Well, it'll go. I mean, it just
Bring it back then.
like if a rock is buried, there's no problem getting to it. Over buried, probably. This is Kevin Ouellette, the second for Team Nova Scotia, throwing his first rock.
Freeze. Yeah, no, bring it back as far as you can. Hard. Okay.
I think it's a little deeper than he wanted, but up to Greg Howard. He's calling the freeze on for Greg Howard. He just threw it, so I expect him to be relatively close in this shot. They're not touching it.
Yeah, Jeff. Just Jeff.
That's a pretty good shot there. I think it's still accessible, Al, with the right weight, like what you just mentioned, the hack weight shot here. Will he be able to get to that? I really, you know, it's yeah, for sure. That rock is half open, but it still was a good throw, good weight.
Yep. Over curls slightly on the one side, which makes this shot a little easier for Nova Scotia.
Kevin Ouellette, who actually he lived in Edmonton 22 years ago, and his wife and my wife were pretty good friends back there. I just found out that they've been gone 22 years now. It's crazy. It's a pretty good shot. This will be Kevin's only game at the Nationals here. He qualified, but after this game, Stuart McLean's coming in to replace him. He couldn't get time off work, Al, for the whole week. So he lives in Nova Scotia. This is his only game he's going to play here this week.
I don't know about that. He should be working for Everest. He'd have the whole week off.
Yeah, there's a few crowd people around me. We got to get some security in here and get rid of these people here. Oh, he's coming. This looks a little heavy here. The third is throwing his first rock here, Jeff Nadeau, and this is looks like it's a little heavy, a little warm.
And then he bumped that yellow one into a bad spot. Put it perfectly frozen on the other stone, which already Nunavut in a bit of a jam here.
Yeah, you know, I've played in a bunch of these, and again, do you come out and are you aggressive in the first end of these events, Al, or you kind of want to be a little cautious? You don't want to get down. I mean, obviously, you don't want to give up 3 or 4 in the first end of any game you play, whether it's a club game or this game. So what type of game are you going to be playing in the first end? Are you going to be a little more aggressive or open, or sort of see whatever happens?
No, I always try to be aggressive at the start. I always wonder at times when the team will, without the hammer, will throw it right in the 4 foot, and then you hit the whole end out, and there's an end gone, and then you do it the next end, there's another end gone. Now you're basically playing a 6-end game, so I don't know.
So your team isn't nervous, just a little bit unfortunate there. They didn't make the double there, but now Nova Scotia is definitely in control here. If they can put a good one here, top 8 foot, or freeze to the top one, or just where he asked for one would be a really good spot.
You know, you talk about your strategy at the start. of a game or sort of a championship. If you're a new team and it's your first nationals, that kind of thing, you got a little bit of nerves. I can see easily why you would play it pretty wide open. You know, get the nerves out of the way. You get an end or two in and get comfortable with the ice. But a veteran team would just probably the opposite.
Jump all over that.
If you've been into lots of them, you know what's going on. They just play your game.
Okay.
So Greg Birch is throwing his second rock here. Came a little heavy. He might have let Nunavut off the hook here a little bit. So
that's I'm sure they would like that stone in a different place. That now they're just almost forming a wall. One good freeze in here, and all those yellow ones would be.
And a bit of slack here. I mean, it was the first end, and you know you're pumped up a little bit, and I mean it was 4 feet or 5 feet too heavy, I guess you could say. But I'm sure he'll learn from that.
Well, your slide looked good. It was. I think we warmed up the spot there with Peter's guards or his first draws. Got that inside pass, nice and hot.
Definitely should know the ice here and the speed here. So this is what skips are paid to do, I guess you could say, is make these shots to bail the team out, right? I wouldn't know that.
You always had someone else
throw
that last
time. Somebody else throwing that one. I'd be the guy at the back of the fourth, and I'd say, Dave, okay, it's your turn. You know.
Yeah, save us.
Yeah, exactly. Sweepers are saying it might overcurl.
Hard, guys, hard. Go, 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 go. Come on. Go, 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 go.
Sweeping this one hard. Let's see. He can see almost half of that rock, and if he can hit this thing and roll and keep it in the house in the middle of the top of the 4 foot, none of it's going to be in trouble. They're going to have to make a decision on his last one, but if he, like I said, if he can hit this one and roll over 2 feet, pretty good to me. I think that's what he's trying to do. I think it's important now not to give him the same shot is what I'm trying to say here.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So this is his first national and his first rock. We'll see. So we'll see if there's any. Let's see if there's any nerves on this throw. I know I'd be nervous. I was nervous in my very first national.
I was nervous in my last one.
Whoa, Peter. Close.
Looks he's not light. It's got to curl a little bit.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did what he wanted to do, but now the pressure is off of Peter again. He's just going to throw the same shot, and I shouldn't say the pressure's off. He's still drawn against 4 rocks here, so.
The way the rocks are sitting, he's got a great opportunity. If he puts anything on anywhere on top of that, it's going to be next to impossible to
If
get
Glenn
at.
could have thrown a little bit less weight, or if it curls another 2 or 3 inches, he's golden.
Yeah, I got to get more buried because he picked that one out nicely.
Yeah, if he could have at least bit the 4 foot, then that freeze would only be second shot. He'd probably be playing it anyway. Probably still playing that same freeze.
I probably would too.
It did. I didn't find the rocks all that jumpy in practice, but the ice they're sharper.
This one looks like it's got some speed to it.
Yeah, this one's. I think it'll curl. He's got this. This has got a curl here. Unfortunately, he threw too much weight. He can't be happy with that, and the team can't be happy with that start.
Draw for 5.
I knew I needed more weight, so hoping to get in there.
They're talking he needed more weight, but he didn't need he really didn't need a whole bunch more weight. He was only like 3 feet light on the last one, so it wasn't a whole bunch. I mean, sweepers can make up that difference.
Filled it up. All right.
It all depends too where they have been playing. If to them this could be lightning fast ice for them.
Well, it's funny you say that because I believe this team or part of this team that played in the Canadian Club Championship 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago at West Edmonton Mall. That was the first game they played there was the first game of the year.
Wow,
So they had no practice ice, nothing. So I
That's
didn't
tough to
ask
do.
these guys, but I'm probably similar.
I'd go, guys. I'd go.
So if if they throw a corner, the center will come around. I mean, really, be looking at corners.
You know, as they look across the sheet, so that's a draw for 5 for Nova Scotia, and it's a great start to their championship. A great start.
That'll take a little of the nerves off
Yeah,
the rookie skip.
He'll
He'll feel a little bit better about this.
You'll
being
feel a little
5-5.
bit better. You're right. As I look across the sheets, there's four other games going on, and there is a lot of rocks in play on every game. Everybody seems to be scoring 3 or 4 enders here, or potential for it. It's crazy what I see out there right now. It's so after one end, Nova Scotia leads Nunavut 5-0. This is Randy Furby and Al Hackner coming to you live from the Mariner Center in Yarmouth for the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships.
Top 4, Peter.
Start we want. Got them right where we want them.
Well, if you're going to be down 5, you want to be down in the first.
I don't want to beat up Nunavut too much, but they've been involved in curling now for how many years at the national level. They came on board 10, 12 years ago or something like that. I'm not sure. And they keep coming to these events and have limited success. So, in your opinion, Al, I don't want to say they shouldn't be here, but how do we get them better? Is it up to the team to get a coach, or the association to get a coach, or even Canadian Curling Association? Should they be involved in getting some coaching up to them on their behalf?
I mean, that's part of it too, and also you don't know how much ice access they have. How much do they? Say you said some of them are coming here without having thrown a rock anywhere. So, some of these smaller towns don't put their ice in until November.
True. So should Canada Curling be helping them and bringing them to a closer, like to Edmonton or somewhere else to train or to learn? Or, I don't have the answers, but we're seeing this over and over again at all these championships where it's disheartening for them, and I'm sure they would like a lot of help too.
Oh, certainly.
But how do we get that to them? I mean, obviously it's hard to get it up there, but there has to be some answers. Somebody's got to sit down at a table and try to figure this out a little bit.
Or maybe even their own curling association, their own provincial or territory association could put out bring in some coaches or send the teams on different events to give them some experience.
Right. So Nova Scotia threw one top 12-foot, and Peter's throwing another one in again, or trying to go around it, and so we're going to have a few more rocks in play. Again, this end.
Beauty.
I see Northern Ontario women's team took 4 on Nunavut women's team in the first end, so they're up 4-0 after one end also. Okay, Peter's calling for the hack weight hit on the top one there, trying to make a double.
Jeff. Okay, whoa.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, moved them off the forefoot and coming in again. The leads rocks are under the 5 rock rule, very essential. You start with top 4 and top 12 every end. You'll do well.
So we don't got an overhead camera here, so that rock is obviously not in the house, that red one there.
Mine's good.
Otherwise, you'd be hitting it.
I hope he would, even though with my bad eyes, it kind of looks in from here. But
Top 12 only if you can.
It'd be a guess. I'm guessing it's out, just the fact
just
that he's not
because.
hitting it.
Can you get back here? Okay.
that rock didn't curl as much as they thought it would. I don't know how Kevin threw it, but he's generally, like I said, I know Kevin a little bit, and he's a pretty good player, and
You like this?
I'm not sure what happened to that one. trying the hit and roll.
I mean, this also to a shot. This shot it's essential that this rock stay in play. Because if you roll out, they're going to get rid of that guard, and you're going to need that guard to generate points.
Seems like, yeah, that was a little wide. You know, what I seen last week at the club championships, ice looks very similar. And what was happening there also, you know, with draw weight, it was curling 6 feet. And as soon as you upped your weight a little bit, it tracked and it ran a little straighter. It didn't curl as much, and that's what might have happened on that last one there. So I mean, the teams are learning the ice here too. It's only a second end. You know, they're going to be more weary of it or leery of it later on in their second, third game. They'll catch on a little bit quicker. So they're learning the ice here too a little bit.
Not clean.
Peels that away.
What do you like?
Yeah, there's high-scoring games. I don't know if the teams are a little nervous here in the first round here. I mean, I'm looking at Quebec women gave up 3 to Ontario in the first end, and Newfoundland scored 4 on the Territories in the first end. So there's some high-scoring games here in the first end. You got to be a little careful out there when your first game is tomorrow, Al.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's why I'm here watching this ice here and picking things up. It just generates points. It's so easy to bury a rock and get things going, and it's also very easy to.
A freeze here, and that looks pretty good. I think they're going to have a little bit of difficulty getting that one out of there. It's going to take a couple shots to remove that. Very good shot by Greg. So Craig Burgess trying to throw the peel, trying to hit it thin as possible, I think. Even then, I don't, yeah, there's a little bit of room in between there, about 8 inches.
Good.
It's a very, very good shot.
And even losing his other yellow one back there is probably a better move because it was a wall for them to freeze to. So that was a very good shot. He picked the rabbit out and got rid of his own pesky other yellow one in there.
So looking at this shot here, like he's freezing down to the back one. Looks like it's tight ice to me a little bit. Would you do this, or would you go around the corner guard on the left-hand side there?
I'd be going around the corner guard.
Probably, I think I would too. It looks like he's throwing. Looks like he's got a little bit of up weight. I think he called a hack weight hit and roll there.
He might have just overthrown it a bit, and again, it didn't curl.
But again, he needs rocks in play. He's down 5 now. Championships. I mean, obviously, he's been the Brier in this a whole bunch of times. You should kind of know a little bit about strategy, and I'm sure he does. But maybe he just wants to get his players
a little breather after that 5-0.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So there's a very good shot by Craig Burgess.
Now here's another situation. Again, he's going to breathe. He's going to hit it. If I'm down 5-0, I'm drawing around that rock.
Probably drawing around, but he's, he might want these guys to settle down a little bit, and let's not get blown out this early.
Yeah.
So.
Some circumstances that maybe just peel it would have been better. But we'll see.
See, even Glenn is talking to Craig. They're talking that maybe a peel on that last shot would have just been better because some other teams would have drawn around that being 5 down.
Yes.
But they got away with it though here. So.
Yep.
So it gives Glenn a free throw here.
I never liked doing that. I always wanted to keep the other team hitting and hitting and hitting, giving them no chance to draw. So whenever I threw a hit and I rolled out, that gives the other player a free chance. A free chance to get draw weight down. That's.
Yeah. You don't want to give them too comfortable. But I remember this exact situation. We had, if we were Nunavut, we had a situation where, okay, we wanted to roll out because if we, then he's throwing a draw, they might come up short, then we draw one around, we have a chance for a steal. So we kind of had a reverse thinking sometimes.
Yeah, at this point.
Sometimes, yeah. But he threw a draw on the first end. He's right on the button here. He's come to play today.
Try for a nose.
Might have been a little full. It wasn't as positive as I thought because I knew it was pushing out pretty hard.
Peter's just going to hit that one and try to stick around.
See if you can nose it.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. It is. There's a hair softer handle for me, so you might have not picked up on that.
that one curled a little bit. He's going to stick around though. Yeah.
It'll be a solid normal.
So if his Nunavat's intentions to blank this end, he rolled to a nice spot there, where this is going to be
Yeah.
a slight mistake on the wide side, and you can roll out.
You know, Nova Scotia will learn by this also to see if the ice is running a little straighter. He's got a fair bit of ice on this.
Got it out there.
I don't think he likes it. Well, that was an absolute break for Nunavut. You know, he hit and rolled to a good spot and got Glenn to throw on the wide side, so he's got a free draw for two now. Just kind of get right back in this game a little bit.
A little breather.
Or momentarily.
No, I think we can not be too scared of that. That's a wide slide all the way in.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Rats.
Going on this and just gets it there with good sweeping all the way, so he scores two.
That's how you skip your way back into this thing.
Yeah.
Played it nice and safe and open and kept his team relaxed and then got a break.
It's a funny game. You just never know.
Worse,
You never know.
set as much as horrible slide wide. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Glenn's complaining about his slide. He didn't have a good slide. And he's not happy with that, Deuce. And you know what? I mean, every skip in this championship would be disappointed at how they gave up two on that end.
But a little bit of that was generated when I commented, remember he rolled to the 12-foot?
Yeah.
If he had rolled to if he stayed in the 4-foot, I doubt if we would have got that miss. But
yeah, chances are he wouldn't have missed it at all. But
even go further wide. So.
Line's tight.
So after two ends, it's 5-2 Nova Scotia, and they get the hammer back or last rock for the third end. I mean, they're still in total control of this game momentarily here. Yeah, and none of it is going to have to get a lot of rocks in play, get a little more aggressive, you know, because they can't afford to get down much more, but they don't want the game to slip away here. I mean, second end, these games go pretty quick. So here we go. He wanted a center guard or some sort of guard up front and came in the house. So kind of relaxed Nova Scotia. And here's Peter throwing his first rock now, and you know, no pressure on him at all.
yes, with the five rock rule, you get two free guards to plunk out there, and they've just lost one. So now they'll have to try and generate something with
Just clean.
their one last guard, and whether he'll hit this one
Yeah.
Or will he throw a guard?
This will be interesting what he does. I mean, he realistically he's got to throw a guard. I mean, you're not getting back in the game by hitting this, and I don't want to be too critical, but he needs some guards in play, unless he just, you know. So he's elected to hit this, and
Sometimes, too, when you're starting a championship, you just want to stay close. Don't take too many chances too early, but this one looks like it's been thrown a little wide.
it's a little wide.
The other turn.
A little nervous, probably. You know, he's playing in, I think, I'm not sure how many championships he's played in, but might be a little nervous. Okay, so Glenn's calling one in the house. I think this is a situation where if it was me, in the house is okay, but stopping this 3 or 4 feet short's okay. I'm okay with that too. Peter's electing to play the hit and roll. Throwing a quiet shot here. He's not, just wants to keep it in play and try to get out of this end again here. He's got this back a little bit, Al.
Might catch a piece. We'll see. That's the bet.
Just a piece.
Not enough to knock it out, though.
Yeah. We are not sitting right behind the sheet, so it's hard to see what type of release, if they're getting it back or if the ice is actually running straight. And I think it might be a combination of both, where it does run straight from the outside. It doesn't curl as much in the middle of the sheets as it does. So they might be getting fooled by that a little bit. So Kevin Ouellette throwing his first one here to lie 3, or try to lie 3.
Line's good. Just above tee.
It's very good weight control. So he's playing basically the same shot he just threw, so I would expect him to be a little closer on this one. They're not sweeping it again. Okay. Hit the stick on that time.
Just normal.
As I look across the sheets, Northern Ontario women stole another one, so they're up 5-0 playing the third end against Nunavut.
Hard.
Kevin Ouellette is just a little wide on that one. He's rolling out. It's definitely, they got to tighten up the ice a little bit on those. PEI women are playing New Brunswick. They're down 1-0 to New Brunswick, playing the third end. Newfoundland is up 7-0 on the territories now after 3 ends. And Ontario women are leading 3-2 over Quebec with Last Rock in the third end.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jamie.
There's Peters trying to make a double here to try to get out of this end.
Hard, Jamie. Hard. All right.
So what we're seeing so far with this ice is the draw weight and the real quiet weights. You get a tremendous curl out of it. And the curlers, if they're making a mistake, they make a mistake because it's over curling. And yet when they're throwing the hit weights, they're taking too much ice. And the difference between the curl in the draw and the curl on the hits is huge here.
I agree with you, Al. I think there's that misconception that, you know, amateur curlers or club curlers, and not once am I saying that these are amateur or club curlers, but when they see the ice curling 6 feet or 6.5 feet, they assume the hits are going to curl 2 feet, and that's not always the case. It's totally different when it comes to throwing a little bit more weight. It can, but not all the time. A lot of times it's running a lot straighter, like we see here.
Jamie.
Almost every hit that you've seen missed or hit and roll out is under curled.
Yeah, except for this one. But
That's a
still,
big one.
you finally hit and rolled on the inside. Nova Scotia doesn't have a problem with this at all. They're 3 up in control. They don't mind a blank end here, or if they even score, I'm sure they're going to be happy. But there's definitely no trouble to them at all.
Peter.
Craig Burgess with his first one, or a second one.
Yeah, or even though he's fine. Yeah.
Good throw.
At the start of these events, we kind of sit around and we have a couple drinks or whatever, and we discuss with the curlers who we think is going to be around at the end of the week. And a lot of these teams we're unfamiliar with because they're new. There might be 1 or 2 new members on the team, and it's hard to keep track of everybody. And then, as I get older, it seems like a lot of these players are getting younger. And so I'm unfamiliar with a lot of these. So Al, have you looked at the draw and saying who you think might be around at the end of the week, or your toughest competition might be?
Well, there's some names obviously that I've played in the past. Played the Ontario men's team quite a bit. They're a seasoned team. They've been together for a long time with quite a bit of success. So I expect that for sure the Ontario team will be solid. Same thing with the Saskatchewan team. They've been around a long time. They've played a lot of events. They will be tough.
Now that I look here, this Newfoundland team, they've been here a few times too. I think they're going to be around the end of the week. Quebec looked pretty good. And there's always going to be 1 or 2 teams that you go, oh my God, look at those guys. They're doing great, and you didn't expect them to do. So, again, we don't mean to diss anybody, but this is just our thoughts early on in the week.
But I'm hoping the Northern Ontario men's team does well.
I haven't heard too much of them. Someone keeps telling me that they've been here. They just come here, and this is sort of like old habit for them, and they'll get another chance next year. But there you go. Good hit by Glenn to make up for the miss in the last end, though. But I think what a lot of our fans that are listening right now, this is Al Hackner's last. He made an announcement that he's retiring from the sport of curling, and this will be his last competition or at the national level. So it's Canadian curling's definitely going to miss him. He's been an icon for years and years, and I know curling and a lot of these curlers owe you a lot, Al. So you are going to be missed.
Yeah, it was a tough decision when I decided to do that. I just
Greg.
I've said my head had 1 vote and my both knees get a vote each, so I get outnumbered 2 to 1. My knees are just giving me a little bit of grief these days, these last couple of years, and it's not going to get any better.
Yeah,
so I think that's a time to.
Yeah, just see Peter just hit and rolled out, so Glenn's got it wide open. He's going to throw it through the house for a blank end. No, I understand what you're saying, Al. I've gone through the same thing, and my knees aren't quite as good as they used to be. My mind, I think, is good, but even though my wife might say different, but I think it's okay, But I mean, I miss part of the game. I haven't thrown a rock in 5 or 6 years now, and I'd love to get back out there, and I might one day, but as of right now, I'm not going to.
The seniors is 50 plus, and I just finished playing in the competition, the 60 plus, and to do well at this level, it's a combination of you got your own personal skills at this game, but then you also got to stay healthy. To stay healthy to curl at age 50 plus, and it's even harder when you get into the 60 plus to stay healthy, have your knees okay, and your back's okay. To compete at that level is is more as almost a longevity thing. Your body still
I
can
agree
still do
with
the job.
I agree with you, Al, but when it comes to staying healthy, yes, you can eat properly, you can work out, but if those knees give out, there's not much you can do.
Not much you can
You
do,
know, there's
no.
not much you can do there. You can do all you want or think you're doing the right thing, but once they start to go, they go. So after 3 ends, score is 5-2 Nova Scotia. They retain last rock, playing the 4th end. So this will be an interesting. I see if Peter is a little bit more aggressive, trying to score a point, or if he's going to play the same. He's calling a pretty tight guard here, and so we'll see if Peter can or if Jamie can make this draw.
Just rode on him. Yeah, he threw it pretty good. A hair hotter, but
The sweepers are walking beside this. It doesn't look good for a guard.
for Craig, that's a
No, it's a little heavy again. Just
miss. But for the rest of us, it was right up the stick.
I got it.
so again, I'm Randy Furby, joined by Al Hackner, coming to you live from the Everest Canadian Senior Championships from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Great little facility they have here. It's about 3 hours from Halifax. It was quite the drive getting here, and we got here late at night a couple nights ago, and it's a 2-lane highway. It was interesting. You had to be a little careful.
We drove in the daylight, and it was interesting.
Yeah. So, but once you're here, it's beautiful here. Everybody's excited about this championship here. Everybody's, everybody had the same issue. You have to fly in or drive in from. You couldn't fly in from Halifax. You have to drive in. So, but once you're here, it's been great. The hotel's been great. The host committee has been absolutely great. Everything they've done so far has been first class. They're excited to have everybody, and I know we are going to have a great week here.
And Everest is the best sponsor in curling. I've said that many, many times. The senior curlers and the club curlers are very fortunate to have such an amazing sponsor that does more than can be asked for. All the extra stuff that Everest does for this event is it's over the top. It should be a pattern or a template for other sponsors what they can do more.
Yeah, it's I work with Mark Duffy very closely with Everest, and he's passionate about this game. He's got some great ideas that he wants to bring to the table, and we're always looking to do something bigger and better at that. If it makes sense, we will implement it. And so we've been sponsoring the seniors now for, I think this is our 8th year. We have sponsored the club championship. This is our 2nd year that we did it. And moving forward, we see no end in sight. But at the end of the day, we want to bring excitement and value to the curlers. We want them to remember the event that they were at. And anything we can do that, we're happy to do that.
Line's good.
Nova Scotia splitting the house now. They had a miss again. Now these rocks are going to be far, far apart from each other, so there will be no double opportunity. A great draw weight. Great draw weight by Peter.
Yeah, the whole Nova Scotia team has had their handle on the speed, so they.
Peter here, he could throw a center guard in there, makes it tough to peel because he might drive it on one of the yellow ones there. So he just wants to keep this game close and.
Just Jeff. Whoa. Wow, it's still falling. I thought for sure that was going to move across and just kept falling.
Hit and rolled out.
That outward over on the side, that's the spot that the Nova Scotia skip missed that open hit on, and they're commenting that it's just not curling over there. So maybe it wasn't too bad a throw when he did miss it. Maybe that spot is just they're expecting more curl and it's just not doing it.
Splitting the house here again. Kevin's trying to split the house. A little heavier on this one, I think. Manages to stop it. Trying to play the hit and stick here again. innocent hit and roll out, and Kevin will be asked to do the same thing he did on his first one.
Line's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. It's all good. Good throw,
Makes
Kev.
no mistake. Sweep this one back a little bit because now there is an opportunity for a double there. You know, if they would have swept that back another 2 feet, it would have been taken away. Might not matter now, but later on in the week when you're playing some of the contenders or you're in the semifinal or final, if they happen to get that far, those are the differences between winning and losing sometimes.
Yeah, there's still the odd 50-plus curler that can throw it pretty hard.
Right. He's hit and rolled out again. He's running a little straighter there.
They haven't.
So no pressure on Nova Scotia here at all.
Easy. Oh, no,
So
that's
Craig is asked to split the house again for the 3rd time or 4th time this end.
good. Perfect. Good one, Craig.
Make no mistake. Trying to hit and stick. Just had to be sweeping that one a little bit earlier. Threw it pretty good. He deserved better than that. Just underswept it. In other games, Northern Ontario have taken 2 more leads, 7-0 over Nunavut in the ladies' competition. Prince Edward Island just scored 2 on New Brunswick to go up 2-1. Stated earlier, Newfoundland is up 7-0. I think it's 7-2 now, playing the 5th end, playing the 4th end against the Territories. And there was a whole bunch of rocks in play in the Quebec-Ontario game. And I'm not sure what happened in the
Quebec
ladies'
stole
competition.
2 more there.
Quebec stole 2, so they go up 4-3, playing the 4th end. And that game started out, Ontario scored 3 in the first end, and now they're giving up 2 and a steal of 2. Okay, Peters trying to hit and stick this back one again, is like his teammates previous.
Good throws.
Yeah, this is the type of end that Nova Scotia just thinks this is the way they're very comfortable with that. They've got 2 rocks split totally across the house. There's absolutely really a slim chance of Nunavut getting any kind of a steal here.
Yeah, there's basically 0 chance, but I mean, stranger things have happened, but they would need a whole bunch of luck right now. Finally, hit and stick. Now this forces Glenn to make the hit and stick to lie 2.
Oh, you do? No.
Normal. Normal, but I'm not going to overdo it.
Yeah, it's nice. My toes are just.
No pressure at all on this shot. You know, I mean, even if he blanks this end, it's okay. You know, I mean, I'm sure he'd rather have a 2 to go up 5 again, but at the end of the day, this is just more of a practice shot, I guess you could say, you know, moving forward.
Whoa.
Feeding too good.
Trying to make it curl. Perfect shot.
Nice weight too, nice controlled weight.
Probably control it. Yeah.
So Peters forcing Force Peter to make a hit and stick again on this one, and Glenn will have probably the same type of shot he just threw.
I told them I wasn't going to overdo it, and I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because it needed all that gravity.
So he's throwing quite a bit more weight than Glenn threw here. Well, good hit. He changed the line of the next hit, so he still should have a pretty good idea what this rock is going to do right down the middle here. I fully expect him to make the shot. I think there's been 3 or 4 hits at least here in the last couple ends in the exact same spot, so shouldn't be too hard to make this shot.
Solid control, light normal, control and normal. Heavy trip.
Nice controlled weight.
Whoa, Peter. Whoa, Peter. Whoa.
Trying to make this one curl. Make no mistake, he hits and sticks for 2, and Nova Scotia now leads 7-2 after 4 ends, and total control of this game, absolute total control of this game, and we'll see what Nunavut comes up with in the second half. Just some fans dropped off a bunch of cookies for me and Al to sample, so I'm about to do that. So if you hear some crunching online, it's just me trying out some Nova Scotia cookies.
Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah, it's normal.
And we'll be right back with you with the second half of this game in 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you very much. Yep.
It's a beautiful blend of strategy, skill, and creativity.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, my father lives
Curling,
I've curled in the
but it's our people that make us great.
but I've never gone to
We're a mosaic of countless experiences. We communicate and collaborate. We value new ideas and different perspectives. We learn from our past and from our future. We may even disagree sometimes, but it's in our differences that we can see our strengths. The beauty of our sport is reflected in our people and our values. Regardless of your ethnicity or gender, your abilities, your stage in life, your beliefs, or who you love. The rocks and the ice don't discriminate, and as curlers, we won't either. We will be the change that we want to see in the world. Curling is a place for everyone.
another tree that fell towards the power line, and he's on Chantilly Lane, and it just like clipped the line and fell down. Got lucky. They got it, man. They can find the trees up there. Places were messed up. And mine wasn't worth contact insurance for the piece of siding and some railing.
Is there a Hearthstone award here? Just go for it right off the bat. Is there?
The first day, and they were doing trying to get dead
What?
berries. They were going pick perfect, right? Control picks.
excitement of Yarmouth and Acadian shores. Stay at one of the many charming accommodations, adventure along the ocean coast, or just be cozy by the fire and enjoy some of the darkest and clearest skies in North America. This December, be a part of the action with the Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championship. You'll find all of this and so much more with your special getaway in Yarmouth and Acadian shores.
Hi, everybody. This is Randy Furby and Al Hackner coming to you live from the Everest Canadian Senior Championships from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. We're in the fifth end here with Nova Scotia leading 7-2 against Nunavut and in total complete domination of this game. So you're down 5. I mean, we know the story. We need rocks. We need rocks in play. We need the other team to miss. But really, what is Nunavut trying to accomplish here, and Nova Scotia trying to accomplish here for the rest of the game, Al?
Well, obviously, the Nunavut team has been calling guards, and unfortunately, their lead hasn't had a handle on that. He's been throwing the guards into the house, or the last night he threw it right through the house. So it's hard to get your game plan of let's get rocks in play and let's do all this stuff when the shots are being missed. So hopefully we'll see what happens here if their lead can get some draw weight and get some guards going and to generate something. And on the other hand, Nova Scotia, they're just loving this. They're thinking this. When you're up 5 like that, you want open end, you want no guards, and that's exactly what's been happening.
So, but does Nova Scotia, at the end of this game, obviously they're on their way to victory here, are they going to say, you know what, we didn't throw enough hack weight shots, we didn't throw enough competitive shots? It's been pretty simple for them, actually. But a win is a win. 2 points is 2 points. So they're going to be happy with that. But now, none of it, like you said earlier, are they going to be a little more aggressive here, just get a feel of the ice and not worry about what actually happens?
Yep.
You know, we're about to see here shortly.
Good one.
Well, he's calling a guard, and let's see if we can actually get a guard in play.
Still coming a little heavy here, it looks like. Yeah, I see that's a little, and he knows how he's missed and he shouldn't miss that, but it is what it is. And, again, they're here having a great time. Do they expect to win this competition? Probably not. They just want to gain a little bit of experience, I guess, and get on to because they will be back. This team will be back at some national championship down the road. And plus, they got 5 or 6 more games to do here at least. So,
Tight as you can without being in.
And, they had the tough first end where they gave up the 5-ender, but I think at this point when your team is struggling a little bit, the skipper just says, let's just keep that score close enough so we don't embarrass ourselves by getting beat 12 to nothing.
See, I see Glenn, had called for the first one top 4, and he called a guard, which is a pretty aggressive call. You can't hit that anyway. So I'm just wondering if he would do this in a regular game or in a semifinal game, or if he's just testing his team right now.
Gotta go for weight, you think? No?
And making them play shots that they'll be forced to play in their next game and the following games.
Because the thing about throwing that guard there is Nunavut comes in here and makes a nice little freeze, and then a couple of shots later, those rocks on the forefoot are gone. And what's left is that guard you gave them.
Yeah, there you go. That was a great rebound by Jamie there, and I'm sure he's quite happy to actually contribute here this end. It was a called shot. He made it perfectly. Now Glenn's calling Kevin just to come right on top of that one again.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, Randy, about calling that guard. Because once you do that, you're basically saying let's have a draw in, let's pile the rocks in play, and then that all that goes in Nunavut's favor. The more rocks in play, the better chance they have to generate something.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Absolutely. So we'll see what he does here. Not a bad throw by Kevin. I mean,
Hit this.
see,
This one? Or peel? Peel this?
a little bit of indecision here.
Here, you can try this. You like that?
I think the one that's just biting the rings, if you hit it just on the nose or slightly off the nose, you can make both yellow ones go away.
Absolutely.
And your rock could be in the house, half buried, and you'll have another rock in play there.
Yeah, rocks are his buddies right now. Yeah, I don't think you want to remove too many of them from play. You might want to adjust where they go, but I think you need more rocks in play, the better. You know what? That is an almost perfect shot. I don't know if he can make the run back double now. Hit his yellow one right on the nose, and both red ones might go now. And I think that's what Glenn is seeing here.
Low. Or sorry, hair high with the in.
3/4 of a rock might get all yellow, all red ones going.
Yeah.
A little bit of unfortunate roll. It was a good shot, but an unfortunate roll by Greg.
Whoa.
Needs the curl a bit.
Yep.
Yep. It's like I still can see him, Al. I just can't throw him. I can see him. So that was a great throw
and he hit it absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got rid of those red ones, but what he ended up leaving here is 2 corner guards, which is still a decent situation for Nunavut here.
But they're relatively tight guards. I mean, Nova Scotia can use them as run backs. Is not as difficult as it used to be, but there are rocks in play that Nunavut can actually utilize these rocks to possibly score a multiple points. This one looks.
Jeff.
See, again, even though that was a pretty good shot, pretty good result, I don't think I would have hit that one.
Rolls the toughest shot in curling.
You like that, or do you want to try to get it?
So much easier to get a rock to go to a spot by drawing there than hitting and rolling it there.
If
But he made a great shot.
It's all right.
See, he can see quarter of this rock, maybe a little bit more throwing half weight, so we'll see how this moves to the wings.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Peter, roll it.
Well, tight, curled quite a bit there. I know in the back of your mind, you don't want to be wide on those shots, thinking, "Oh my God, you can miss narrow on that, move the guard." That wasn't a very good result.
No, he's still left 2, potential guards up there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the situation where a lot of curlers up 5 would have played the raise takeout. Play the run back. If you miss the run back, you peel the guards off, get rid of rocks and play.
Again, the person in the hack, I've always said, has got to know that. You don't want to be wide. You don't want to be really narrow. I mean, being a little tight is okay on that, but you got to miss it just barely. That curl's another inch, and it's totally guarded.
Yeah.
So
maybe the shot selection, he called a little quiet tap back on that shot, where there's a whole lot more room for error there on that shot.
Correct.
Especially when you're 5 up. So they're just throwing a firm hit at that and play the run back. And the worst that can happen is you take the guard off, which is good too.
Yeah, so he's electing to come in here and play a split on there or something. But this is curling again, and I don't think he's going to like this result at all.
Pop that one in front. Okay, that's it.
A little tight on that one and raised him in. I'm not totally sure what he was trying on that one, Al.
I think he was trying to come around that guard and maybe move it around. I would have been tempted to go around that other corner guard that was over there.
Okay, so Craig Burgess is throwing the exact same shot he had on the first one. We'll see how he does here. Exact same line. See if he's made a correction.
Whoa, yep. Hard, Kev. Hard.
just
Okay, good throw.
Just a hair rub.
Yep. But it was a better throw. It was the way to miss, and that's if he would have missed it that way on the first one, he wouldn't have had no problem. But you know, me as a skip, I'd be okay with that, and I'd probably put a little bit of blame on myself on that rock for not sweeping it a little earlier. Peter's throwing, he can see almost the whole rock, trying to hit the lay 2 here.
Hi, Greg. Nope, no, 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 no.
I want to stick around no matter what, so if we don't get the double, that's fine. Normal? Solid normal?
Oh,
I think once it comes on, like we're inside center, it's not going to hang.
Glenn is saying that he would like to stick around here and not worry about the double, but I think it's kind of a natural one. You hit 3/4 of rock, you got the double and hit and roll and everything.
Yeah, it's all there.
So it's, you know, make the rocks go away. I think that's the most important thing. He's a 5 up playing the 5th end here, so just make him go around. Make him go away.
Best hit is 2/3, and you can get a double and roll.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. Yep.
Going hard on this one.
Yep.
It's a pretty good result. I think that Peter, if he wants to, can elect to ignore that rock and just draw it to the right-hand side there.
I knew after seeing that.
Got to be a little careful on this.
Wasn't my most
Just to let everybody know, there are 2 venues being used at this competition, this championship this year. There's 5 sheets at this Mariner Center, and they're using 4 sheets or 3 sheets at the Curling Club, and for the first half of the event. There's 28 teams involved in this, 14 women's and 14 men's, which is just absolutely fantastic.
Jamie. Hard, Jamie. Hard.
Got to go on this one. Just kind of babied it a little bit too much. So I don't think he had to hit that rock because
you're already shot rock. You
yeah,
just
and it
put a draw in there around the corner.
and it wasn't a hard draw. He didn't have to bury it. It just had to hit the 8 foot. It didn't have to be buried or be tight to a guard. But maybe it's maybe it's just confidence a little bit too. So that lets Glenn off the hook again. Is just going to hit here to lay 1 and force none of it to the blank.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's like he's.
Peter.
It's a very good shot. It's.
He might have rolled that right under
buried,
the guard.
Almost buried. He can just see the whole thing, so he's trying to blank it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to take a run at that. You don't want to be a little tight because a little tight could actually bump that little yellow top guard into the rings.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much to do that at all.
Risky.
Wouldn't take much to do that.
But in this situation, he's got to play the blank. To settle for 1 point
Yeah,
is
well,
not enough. Not enough by playing the draw.
Yeah, even if he got 1 here, it's okay. Might just change a different aspect of the game and whatnot. And you don't want to miss this. Either take 1 or blank it for sure. It's a little out there. It's curling, just got enough of
he
it.
made a good shot.
Just got enough of it. So after 5 ends, it remains 7-2 Nova Scotia over Nunavut, with Nunavut retaining the last rock in the 6th end. Or
Oh, which one? The first one? First one, yeah, there was a double and roll behind the guard. It would have been tough to be shot without making a double.
Well, we have to bid farewell to Al Hackner. He's got some prior commitments here, so want to wish him best of luck for the rest of the week. And if we're lucky enough, we'll have him join us in another broadcast somewhere along in the next few days.
I'll see if I can find some time. This has been enjoyable.
The guard being the other color, right?
This is it's still pretty good curling. You know, it's not the Briar or anything, but these 50-plus curlers can still play pretty good.
Yes, they can, Al. And like I say, we'll be watching you and wishing you the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Line straight.
So Nova Scotia is trying to draw the top of the 4-foot here and just force the issue again, coming a little heavy on this one. But they accomplish it. Great draw weight by Peter and Jamie to throw a corner guard, I believe, here. Jamie struggled a little bit with his weight today, and he's been a little heavy, and it doesn't quite get the job done. It takes your sweepers out of it, and they can do nothing when you're heavy, so he's going to have to work on that for the next few games. But in the meantime, I've been fortunate enough to someone else just slipped in, took Al's chair right next to me. The MC extraordinaire, Stu Brown, is coming on. He wanted to say a few words and talk about the competition, and so I welcome Stu Brown to the broadcast booth right now.
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
It's, you know what, it's fantastic. It's a great start to the event here. You know, this game is a little bit out of hand, I guess you could say, but overall, you know, we're off. We're off and running. This is the first draw, and I just love what I see. I like the colors. I like the pageantry. You know, there's a few fans in the stands. I'm expecting a really, really fun week here for the curlers and for ourselves.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's take a look at it. It's the first game they're playing in this tournament, and a lot of them haven't had a chance to play on this level and at this magnitude. How much would you have in nerves coming into a game like this, though?
Well, we kind of talked about that earlier. I mean, obviously, you know, when Nova Scotia scored 5 in the first end against Nunavut, the nerves probably disappeared from Nova Scotia. Now Nunavut's going, oh my God, we gave up 5. Let's not give up another 5. So they want to keep it closer. They don't want to be embarrassed and whatnot. So they're just trying to get their legs a little bit. And you're right. It is the first game. They're getting used to the ice. They don't know how it works or how it's going to change throughout the game. This is just going to help them moving forward on for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I was talking to some of them before the game. They were doing the practice. They said that there's a lot of swing on this ice. Certain sheets had, you know, a little bit more. Most people looking like 4 to 6 feet, but they said it was almost a little bit more than that.
It tends to always start out that way, where there's a lot more curl at the beginning of these tournaments, and it'll kind of back up a little bit. You know, after the second or third day, it'll go. You know, it'll shrink by about a foot, maybe less curl here. But as you can see here, Jamie just threw a great draw. He threw the first one through the house, but threw a great freeze here. So, you know, he's going to get confidence, and the team is helping him, helping along. Say, hey, great shot, Jamie. That's why you're here. You can do it. You can compete with these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Craig.
Kevin Ouellette trying to freeze down to him. It's a great shot. Total great shot. Let's give you an update on the other games. Ontario gave up a steal of 2 again to Quebec. Quebec has scored 3 2-enders in a row to lead 6-3. 6-3. Newfoundland is up 9-1 on the Territories in men's play. 9-1 without Last Rock. And PI and New Brunswick, the closest game out of 5 games out there. New Brunswick is leading 3-2, and Northern Ontario women are beating Nunavut 10-1, playing the 6th end.
Great weight, Greg.
So there's a miss by Nunavut again here.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be able to sit in the seat with where Al Hackner was actually sitting. It's a big seat to sit in.
Fool around too much.
I can't contribute anywhere near to what he can contribute to a game, but you know, it's amazing having a chance to see the Iceman play over the years. And
yeah, he's announced his retirement from curling. This is his last competition that he's ever going to play in, or a Canadian competition. It's he has definitely put his mark on this game, and I can't say enough of him. He's a great friend of mine, great curler. I was fortunate enough to play with him in a few bond spills, and it was kind of the highlight of my career, or some of the highlights of my career playing with him. He's just a great guy on and off the ice, and we are great friends to this day, and moving forward, we will be forever.
Line's really good.
Kevin's throwing a guard to try to seal everything up.
everything seems to be lined up in the house here.
Yeah, none of it is going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's got, you know, they're 5 down, and he's got to play hits, which isn't very a good sign, especially early in the end. It's not a good sign. So
is the best thing to start clearing things out in front, try and get rid of all the rocks out in front?
Well, they need those rocks to help them. You know, you're 5 down. You know, the more rocks get out of play, the less chance you got for scoring multiple points. So he's got to, he's got to open it up because he's got nothing to play here. So Greg's got to, he's calling him to hit this yellow one straight back and hopefully move those rocks around in the house and make it in line for the favor for them. But that was, again, he's missed that. They're just struggling a little bit here. You know, he wanted to hit the one that was closest to the house. They're just struggling a little bit, and you know, probably a little disappointed in their results or their throws in this game here. So
you were inside a bit. Yeah.
They just got to get this one out of their mind and sort of start thinking about what got them here. You know, get some good slides and make a few shots and moving forward to the next game.
Well, it's got to be tough up in Nunavut, you know, with the number of, I don't know how many curling clubs there are up there, or, you know, and how many sheets of ice you have a chance to play in. Who do you get to play against? And then you come up against Nova Scotia that has good ice. And
yeah, well, again, we touched base on that, Al and I think the Nunavut team at the Canadian Curling Club Championships a week and a half ago, that was their first game of the year. They qualified for the championship back in March or somewhere there up, and the first game they played in the Canadian Championships was their first game of the year.
Right.
So they do not got access to practice ice or any type of competition before they got there. So they're definitely behind the 8 ball immediately. And something tells me it's quite similar with this team right here too. I mean, a couple of these gentlemen were playing in the club championship last weekend here. So I think Greg was on that team.
Now, I take it he's going to try and do the same thing. Come in and just line them up and just push them out and clear get a little room back.
Try to get the nose here, and you know, you remove that one, but Nova Scotia is just going to try to replace that again, and you know.
Well, it's great to be here in Yarmouth for this particular event. They've, you know, like you said, you like what they've done. They've done a great job here as the host committee.
Yeah, you know, they've been outstanding. You know, I've been fortunate to be involved in 8 or 9 of these with Everest at the club championship and the seniors, and this is a great host committee. You know, everything we from day one has been stellar. Everything's been taken care of. We haven't had to worry about anything. It's first class the whole way. And again, the curlers are just going to love this week alongside us. I know we're going to have a lot of fun, Stu. We love these curlers. We have a great time associated with them on and off the ice. They're great people. They like talking. They like having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just like us.
Yeah.
We like doing that too, so it's a good fit.
Well, that's the best thing about curling. Like, I've had an opportunity to be around curlers for now over 20 years, and it's just the camaraderie and the friendships that you actually gain with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it says, great people. And to give you a little bit of background on Stu, where he says 20 years, he's been the MC at the Briar Patch, the Scotties, the World Championships in Edmonton. At the Worlds, when it's in Canada, he works for Canada Curling Association, and he's done a great job. And Everest brought him on board here to do the announcing, the emceeing at all these events throughout the week, and done a great job. So Stu knows a lot of these curlers, and I think he's the best in the business. And
how much is this going to cost me?
I think he's the best in the business because there is nobody else in the business.
I'm outstanding in my field.
Absolutely. But to be honest, you know, Stu, you help out with these events. You do a great job, and I know the curlers love it, and I know Mark Duffy from Everest loves it too. So you just add another dimension to the event.
Well, that's the whole thing. You got to make it exciting. I mean, we go to you've been to the Briar so many times. You've been to the World so many times. You know, when you get to the club championships and the senior championships, this is a great opportunity to just raise the energy level of these events, and that's what the fun part about this is.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, one thing we're forgetting about, these guys are playing, or these guys and girls are playing for a Canadian championship, but there's only going to be one winner, one winner at each event. So we are trying to make the event important and fun and exciting for the curlers that don't win, along with the winners, obviously. But it's important that everybody goes home with a great experience, not just the winners.
Exactly.
So there we go. Nova Scotia makes another great guard on that and leaves Nunavut in a bunch of trouble again.
Yeah, they're still sitting shot just off the button.
Yes, Nova Scotia's got one buddy in the button or half in the button there, and the red one right on top of it. So
it's nose or more, right? It's nose or more over curl a bit. Okay.
They're having a little troubles getting the lineup on these rocks to be able to just try and kick out that one that is sitting shot.
Yeah, I want to be on this side.
Yeah, the ice moves so much, so like nobody's even played a hack weight shot. There hasn't been very many hack weight shots or very difficult shots played. There's basically just draws and hits and throughout this game. So he's trying to run this one straight back and run it on yellow, yellow, red, yellow, and to sit one here. So he needs pretty much a nose hit here.
It's going to be Peter's first shot. Lots of conversation on the ice with this team, too. It's good to hear them talking.
Yeah, you got to try to get on the same page, absolutely.
Hard, Greg. Hard, Greg.
They're going on this one hard again. It looks like it just took off there. Wow.
Roll it across. It's red,
Not sure what happened on that one. I like to think it picked a little bit, or, you know.
Well, what do you want to do? Protect the one?
He threw it pretty hard. You wouldn't figure it would move that much.
He must have turned it or picked a little bit or something, but he hasn't had much luck today. So let's listen on what Nova Scotia's planning here to do on their last one.
What's his...
Probably stop any run back, right? They want to keep their rock where it is. They're not going to want to move it out.
No, he's looking either at guarding the left-hand side yellow to red to yellow, or he might want to draw the button with the intern here.
So do you throw a high guard up there just so you make it more difficult for run back?
It absolutely. You could, if you choose to do that, that would be definitely one of the calls for sure.
What would you do?
So
what would Randy Furby do?
I don't know. Well, you're up 5. I don't think there's anything wrong you can do here. So I think he's. Let's have a look, see what he's planning to do here. Looks like he's planning to come in with the intern, block off the intern draw side.
Yeah, he's worried about coming in off the sides here, it looks like.
No, he's electing to guard the yellow, red, yellow hackway tap, which is a very, very difficult shot. You can see only a quarter of that rock. It is there. I mean, he could either put one right up here. We don't got a telestrator here, or block off the intern draw to the button, which is difficult again also.
Do I aim for the broom or his foot?
You know, being a skip, do you sit back and listen to the conversations the team are having just to see where their heads are at? Because there's a lot of talking down there, which is nice.
Yeah, that's good communication, absolutely. But everybody's got a different opinion, and again, when you're on the ice, you want to be on the same page collectively. You don't want one person thinking, "Oh, we should do this," or so. So this is good. So I think they're all in agreement with this call here. Just kind of just block off the out turn tap.
Because the yellow behind's got to go no matter what. They're kissing.
So it doesn't leave none of it a whole bunch here.
Yeah, there's not much room to come through.
Yeah, You know, I don't even know. So he's yellow. I mean, he's red. He's going to play off this side one and hopefully hit a quarter of the rock, maybe a little bit more, about a quarter, the one close to the house, and come off that one and roll into his yellow and into his red one and try to get 2 here. Very difficult shot, but I don't think he's got much else. He could try to draw for one, which doesn't get him a whole bunch.
It's too thin, though. He's going to go through the house.
Well, it is, but you know what? He needs something good to happen. He needs a feel-good shot right now to carry him on to the next game. And
We can't give up 2 if we hit it, we could get 2.
Keep our shots
Worst case,
easier.
they get the one they got, right?
They can make great shots.
so, yeah. I'm not sure he's coming off the side one. He might be throwing a.
Get like a quarter of the red that we can see.
Yeah, he's throwing a quarter.
Or the front red, either one of the 2 reds.
You just heard him, which is very difficult with the intern here. I think he's trying to hit the one close to the house, which is a very, very difficult shot.
Close to the house. Not seeing much of that face.
No.
It's got about a half rock.
Well, we'll see shortly here what he's got.
Couldn't tell what was going on
A
there.
little wide.
Yep.
What?
Oh,
Actually, what a shot.
What a great shot.
There you
He
go.
called the play. That's a great shot by Peter. No ifs, ands, or but. Called, thrown, made. Great throw. Now moving forward, that's going to give him a little bit of confidence now. Moving forward is a really, really good shot. And there's nothing Nova Scotia could have done to prevent that from happening.
That was a heck of a good shot. There was not much
It's a
rock
great
to see.
shot. Great shot.
Here we go into.
So, after 6 ends, the score is now 7-4. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia will have Last Rock playing the 7th end. Still in complete control of this game. You know, there's only 2 ends left. They got Last Rock. Greg is congratulating Peter on a great shot there. It says, don't ever do that again to me. one time's okay, but don't do it again. So, but now Peter and his team should get something out of that and hopefully have a good end here and, you know, moving forward.
Can one rock shot, one good shot, change your whole attitude to the game?
It can. It can. I mean, it depends on the score in the game, where you are at the beginning of the bond spill, beginning of the Canadian Championship or after. But it should. I mean, how can that not help you move forward? And when you're sitting down tonight and you're talking about the game, you say, well, you know, guys, we had a bad game, but made this great shot. And you feel good about it. You know, I'm sure they got curling fans out there. They love it. And here Peter's throwing it in the house again. Jamie comes in the house again a little bit. So it's kind of out of the end already. So just going to be a quiet end again here, I believe. Yep. Peter is going to have to throw some guards up here to get something in play. I mean, he's 3 down without, which is pretty tough to come back into any level. But you know what? There's a chance after making that shot. There's a chance. You know, you still 1 here, still 2. I mean, we're looking at all the other sheets out there, and there's high scores throughout every game. People are stealing ends and stealing a lot of points, so it is a possibility as long as you get your rocks in play and make it very tough on Nova Scotia.
He called a center line guard on this one.
Line's better.
Yeah, you know, again, he just needs guards. And I know we always play center line guards when you don't have Last Rock, but he needs guards in play because Nova Scotia should be or will be hitting everything moving forward. But it's 5 rock rule, can't hit that, so that's a great shot. That's a good shot by Jamie. So Glenn's got no choice but to go in.
He only learned corner guard this morning. This is his first year.
Is it? Oh, great.
So we have our first final of the competition here. Northern Ontario women beat Nunavut 10-2.
We picked him up because he finally got old enough.
Yep.
Newfoundland men are leading 9-2 over Territories with Last Rock playing the 6th end. And Quebec stole another one against Ontario and are winning now 7-3.
That's 3 ends in a row. They have actually stolen points on sheet E.
They've stolen 5 straight points.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Came a little deep on that one. Peter just come a little bit deep behind the tee line there. It allows Peter to come down and freeze to it.
Looks good now. Line's better, Jeff. Line's better. Okay, go then. It's gonna float. Yeah, go. Here, Jamie, I'm gonna hop in.
It's a good shot. Even though it's not shot rock, it's in a very, very good position. Just electing to peel it off and get rid of these rocks, and the more red rocks in the corner, the better for Nova Scotia.
Clean. Good throw, Kev.
Kevin Ouellette with the peel. Like I said earlier, this is going to be Kevin's only game at this Canadian Championship. He's a chef and he couldn't get time off work. It's a busy time for him in that industry coming December. So Stuart McLean will be taking his spot for the rest of the week.
Yeah, Stuart's been around a number of times. I had a chance to see him in the Briar a couple of times. And
yeah, I've battled against him a few times. Really good individual, nice guy to talk to, and a great competitor on and off the ice. And I know he didn't want to get in this way, but it's unfortunate that Kevin couldn't make it. So, I mean, they couldn't have picked up a better guy.
Go. Just like, too late. Yeah, keep going. Here.
Pretty good shot.
You just want to feather this, or
sitting on a double though, he could take it out.
Yeah, I don't think the double's there naturally. He's got to run the yellow one back as the double, which is probably the right call. You know, you hit half a rock on either side, or you're going to get rid of something. So 3/4 of a rock, half, maybe a little bit less, you'll make the raised double here. Kevin's pretty good at these two. Expect him to be close.
Whoa. Well, no, just dead jam. Good.
That's a good shot. Nothing wrong with that at all.
That's not a bad result, actually. It would have been hard to stick.
You like?
He probably would have.
You want to try this? Tap.
Playing a
control, eh?
Tap. I'm in control. I'm not sure what he's got planned here. I don't think you want to throw too much weight on the shot.
You want to stay high up in the house?
Yeah, again, you need rocks in play here. So definitely does not want to remove his red one. And I think
he's tapping forward, though, isn't he?
He's tapping it straight back, or
for the
yeah,
jam.
that worked out. I mean, it's a little more weight than I would have thrown, but it worked out. But at the same time, it gives Nova Scotia a straight back double on the nose here to get out of the hand. Yeah.
Keep the weight up.
Nose hit on the top red one would be ideal. Craig Burgess throwing it.
I'll take everybody out.
Well, Peter.
Trying to make a curl now.
Well,
get off there. Oops.
That's fine.
That's all right.
You like this? It's either that or draw here. You like your guard? Okay.
Electing to throw the guard instead of the come around. It's either or. They're still going to need a break from Nova Scotia to get back in this game. So whether they throw a guard or come right in the house again, they got to make the shot first off, and then maybe get a half shot out of Nova Scotia.
Easy, guys. Whoa, where is it? Whoa. Too much. I went too deep. Here. Just here.
Sliding in a little bit deeper than he wanted, I believe.
Easy.
Yeah, so again, it's going to give him a double, but he'll probably roll it out of the house if he does make the double.
I figured all they want to do is get rid of the red rock in the house.
Yeah, you got to make him disappear. You're 3 up. You don't want to look at too many of those red ones, or you don't want your skip looking at too many of them when he comes down with the last couple shots at the end. I think it's close here. It's a pretty, he's out. So that puts Nunavut in a precarious situation. He's got to draw around the top one on the house now. No choice. Yeah, this doesn't.
Great shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a lot more weight. I want to get rid of both, right? So right under rock and then throw. Like,
First one was a good throw, too.
Now, again, Peter should know here that he's 3 down without, and hitting this rock is not going to get him a steal here at all, and he has to steal. I mean, the best case he's looking for is he's either going to be 3 down or 4 down without last rock come in the 10th end. So this is definitely 110% the wrong call here.
Is he just going for damage control, though? Like trying to get as many yellows out for counters against him?
Sure, maybe, but I mean, it's the 7th end. You still want to think you got a chance to win the game. So you got to draw. You got to bury here and hopefully steal 1, get lucky, maybe still 2 in the 10th end. But that is not going to happen by hitting this rock here. You know.
Jamie Hurd.
If he sticks it on the back one, I'm going to be impressed.
He's got the double. Very good shot. But again, it's all open. No trouble at all to Nova Scotia. They're absolutely okay with that result. So.
Say anything about the
Other games, PEI and New Brunswick are locked in at a battle 4-4 with PEI holding the last rock in the 7th end.
Thanks. Smelled them fries?
Just high of center was getting us.
And he got beer there. Like, how is this good for the curler?
It's the closest game on the ice out there right now.
Yeah, Newfoundland on sheet
Corner freeze.
D is up 9-2 over Northwest Territories.
To our second yellow.
Quebec, all those steals, 7-3 right now on sheet E over Ontario.
Yeah, they're kind of looking good again. Well, they're kind of looking like they're looking at 2 rocks now with Chantel's last rock here. So it looks like Ontario will have a chance potentially for a multiple pointed end here, multiple points here. They're a little bit behind. They're only playing the 6th end. All the other games a couple games are in the 7th end here. 1 is completed already. Just trying to get it in the top 8 foot, top 12 foot here. Got to keep going to this one. Got to be in the house.
Hard, guys. Get it past that first one.
Can't get the advantage on this one, but that one on the basically sitting on the 12 where he's got right now. Is that now it's not counting, is it?
No, it's not. But that, you know what? That is a great shot that he threw. It makes it difficult to remove that rock.
Yeah.
Can't really freeze on it. So I mean, he's going to try to corner freeze to it, which is a very, very difficult shot.
Yeah, like that one's not going to have any.
So whatever they look like they're doing, Nova Scotia looks like they're going to be trying to get 2 out of this.
Well, unless he makes a really, really good shot here. I mean, the worst case scenario, he makes a perfect freeze. You can't get rid of it. You got to bite the 8 foot to be 4 up coming home, which is ball game anyway. So
right.
Back to sheet E here, just having a quick look. Joanne Rizzo's got a hit for 2 to make it 7-5 playing the 7th. And she really, really needs to make this shot. Peter McKay's rocks coming in there. They're sweeping hard. I don't know if it's got quite the right line there.
Is he going for the freeze?
He's going for the corner freeze, and he's missed it, but it ended up in a pretty good spot there. You know, this is a decision that Glenn's got to make here. He doesn't have to do this.
But he sees enough of the rock that he can tap it out and save the shooter.
Well, for
still.
sure.
So.
But he doesn't.
You had a hair inside.
he doesn't need to. So I'm just looking at the ice he's taking. He's just throwing a draw because even if he's a little tight, he'll come off his yellow one and chip in and come in here. So this is all about weight here. He should be thinking just draw, draw, draw. You don't have to throw any kind of weight where it might take off on you. Take the yellow one and you give him a steal of one.
If we end up freezing it for one, that's not too bad. Yeah. Yep.
You just did it?
Now, is that the shot you would have done, or you would have gone after that, just to try and ice the game?
Well, I think drawing the 4-foot, you ice the game anyway. I think most players at the Brier level or professional level, you guess you could say, probably just put down the broom, draw for one, shake hands.
And take it. Okay.
And you're shaking hands. But, I mean, this is a good shot for maybe future reference. He might have to play this in the third end tomorrow or, somewhere along the way. So I want to see how the ice works. They got to go on this one. They're sweeping hard.
Keep it going.
They got to go on this. I don't know if he's got the right line or if he's going to get shot rock. Yes, he managed. He still managed to get a very difficult one the hard way.
What's that?
No, that's good game.
I thought he was just going to go and hit the 8-foot.
Yeah, that's what I would know. So that's the end of that game. The Nunavut has shaken hands. Nova Scotia has won 8-4, and this is Randy Furby and Stu Brown coming live from the Mariner Center in Yarmouth at the 2022 Everest Canadian Senior Championships, and it was a great start to the event. We're out rolling here. The first game's over now.
Good playing. Undefeated.
Yeah, they're just talking. They're undefeated. Yes, you are.
Little softer. Yeah. Yeah, I was coming out. I just said, don't be heavy, and just fly it. But then I didn't give it the release. No, if I threw it clean, it was going to get there one way or another.